Hi, I'm Elsa from California. Please like and subscribe. I was born to one of the most beautiful women in the world. Yeah, everyone thinks about their moms. But in my case, it was actually true. Everyone said so, and I was just like her. Dad adored us both, and we lived in a beautiful house. Life was good, almost perfect. But when I was 14, everything changed. One day, I slipped on something on the pavement outside and fell to the ground. And when I woke up, I discovered that I had small scars all over my face, and the doctors said they may never go away completely. I was in shock for a few days. Once the scars were healed, Mom took me to the mall to buy makeup. But just putting on some concealer wasn't helping much. You could still see them. The next few days, I spent hours watching YouTube makeup tutorials. I studied the way makeup artists transform their faces with layers of makeup. And once I'd applied it on myself, my parents were stunned.
Elsa, I hardly recognize you. But honey, the stuff will rub off when you play outside.
True, so I guess I won't be doing that anymore. A week later, my parents sat me down for a talk.
Elsa, we have some difficult news. Our company is not doing well and we'll have to sell the house while we're taking care of all this. We think it's best that you go to my sister in Seattle for a while.
Honestly, it was a lot to take in, but a part of me was relieved. I'd never met my aunt or been to Seattle, but it meant a fresh start where no one knew what I looked like before. 2 days later, I flew to Seattle, and a driver picked me up at the airport. Aunt's house was basically a mansion. I knew Aunt owned a skincare company, but I had no idea she was so rich. A maid led me to my room, and as I was unpacking, I suddenly jumped when I saw someone's reflection in the mirror. It was a really strange woman with an odd nose and an unpleasant expression. Hi, can I help you?
Help me? How would you help me when you've come to live on my charity?
Wait, this woman was my aunt? She looked nothing like Mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Aunt. I've just never seen any pictures of you.
Of course. Why would your vain mother keep pictures of me? All she ever cared about was herself and her looks. Judging by all the makeup on your face, I guess that's what she taught you too.
Not exactly. Since I'll be living with you, you might as well know. I took a wet tissue and cleaned the makeup off my face. Aunt stared at me, and then she started laughing.
Oh, ha ha ha! This must bother your mother so much. She couldn't even stand it if she had a tiny pimple. She was obsessed with perfection.
Well, she's not like that now.
Huh, really? I'm guessing it was her idea to get you all this makeup? Trust me, I know your mother better than you do.
With that, she just turned and left. Well, yeah, Mom had bought me the makeup, but it was what I wanted too. Aunt was just weird. And over the next few days, I realized she was really weird. She'd ask me to do the oddest tasks.
I only eat the blue candies, so pick them out and throw the rest away. Get me 6 blueberry muffins from the bakery, and then pick out all the blueberries. I'm allergic. You have to read me 22 pages every night before I go to sleep.
I tried doing whatever she asked, but then one night, she woke me up by calling me.
I need 3 apples from the tree down the road.
You need them now? It's 3 a.m. I'm not going, Aunt. And I hung up. But moments later, she appeared in my bedroom.
If I were you, I'd do what you're told, Elsa.
I've been doing that, but I think you're just enjoying torturing me.
You and your parents owe me. They're nearly bankrupt, and I've been sending them money and also offered to send you to school. So I want those apples now.
I climbed out of bed and went out. I didn't realize my parents were in so much trouble, and I didn't want to add to their stress. I got some relief from her when I started school. I was looking for my class the first day when a boy approached me.
Are you new here? You look lost.
Yeah, I'm extremely lost. His name was Christoph, and he was really nice. He showed me the way to my class, and as we parted, he said,
Hope I get to see you around later.
Maybe Seattle would be bearable after all. As I was looking for an empty seat, a gorgeous girl waved at me.
You come and sit right here, new girl. I'm Tracy, and honestly, I'm the only person worth knowing in this class. Everyone else is boring. By the way, I just love your makeup.
Wow, this Tracy was definitely full of herself. But she was kind of fun, and soon we started hanging out every day. A few weeks later, she proposed a sleepover, but it had to be at my house. Sure, but be warned, my aunt is weird. The night started off pretty fun, but then Tracy turned to me and said,
I want to know how you do your makeup. Here, use this to take it off and show it to me from the start.
Before I could reply, I heard Aunt yelling,
Elsa, I can't find my underwear. Help me find it.
When I got to her room, I found her sitting on the bed.
Don't show that girl your face without makeup. Ever.
Why not? And wait, how did you know what we were talking about?
Not important. Now listen to me. I own a skincare company, and I promise everyone perfect, flawless skin. I can't have customers knowing that my own niece is, well, not perfect. It will be bad for my brand.
So I'm just supposed to hide my face from my friend?
Please don't make me remind you about everything I'm doing for you and your parents.
Yeah, I won't tell anyone. I went back and told Tracy I was tired and wanted to sleep.
You're not going to take your makeup off first?
Nope, it'll last me another day. Luckily, Tracy didn't push it, and I was glad to have her as a friend. But the best part about school was Christoph. One time, he caught me looking at the track team's flyer.
Do you like to run?
I think it's something I could like.
I love running. Race you to the gym.
You're on! Suddenly, he sprinted, and I followed, but he was too fast. When I finally caught up with him, he was leaning against the water cooler.
Amateur!
I didn't say I was a superstar.
But you had fun, didn't you?
Before I could say yes, I wiped sweat off my forehead and saw my makeup start to run. Oh, no, I gotta go! I ran like crazy and only stopped when I reached the bathroom. I was able to fix my makeup just in time. But when I was leaving for home that day, Christoph caught up with me.
Hey, why'd you run off like that before?
Before I could reply, a car honked loudly, and it was my aunt calling out to me. Why are you here?
I can't pick up my favorite niece now. And who's that boy?
Just a friend.
You're obviously lying. You like him. Well, don't tell him about your real face if you want him to like you back.
Maybe not everyone's as shallow as you, Aunt.
Oh, yes, they are. Trust me, I know. I got mocked for my appearance all the time. I couldn't change other things, but I could change my skin. And I really did with my creams. But unfortunately, you only have makeup, and that rubs off.
She made me so mad. But what if she was right? Maybe Christoph wouldn't like me if he knew the truth. But something totally unexpected happened the next day. Tracy had bought some new foundation, and she kept insisting at lunch that I try it. I told you, I don't want to take my makeup off right now.
Can you drop it? Why are you like this? It's weird that you never take off your makeup in front of anyone. It's almost pathetic.
Suddenly I felt mad. I'm pathetic? What about you? Is there anything even real about you?
I'm more real than you are.
Really? Are your eyelashes real? And what about your nose job? Is this even real? I tugged on her hair just for effect, but suddenly half of it ended up in my hands. Oh God! I had no idea Tracy wore hair extensions.
You knew, didn't you? Yeah, I'm insecure about my hair. You're insecure about your skin. But I'd never take your makeup off like that.
How would I know? I'm sorry. But it was too late. Everyone had seen me. They all thought I was a bully now and had exposed Tracy's secret on purpose. I tried to apologize, but Tracy completely ignored me. No one else was talking to me either. And even worse, Christoph was being cold to me. Hey, it seems like you've been avoiding me.
Well, yeah, I have. That was a really messed up thing you did to Tracy.
I promise I didn't know.
I'm not sure I believe that. How could you not know? She's your best friend. You're just not who I thought you were.
That hurt me more than anything else. I felt super lonely, so I just started having my lunch in an empty classroom while watching Avatar videos on YouTube. It was the only thing that made me feel better. A few days later, I saw Christoph going into the gym, and I decided I'd tell him everything so that he could get to know the real me. He hadn't seen me yet, and just then, he started rolling up his pants. He had scars all over his legs. Suddenly, he realized I was right behind him.
Elsa, you weren't supposed to see that. Please don't tell anyone. It happened in an accident and no one knows.
Christoph, I would never tell anyone. I wouldn't even have done that to Tracy if I'd known the truth about her hair.
I want to believe you, but I don't think you understand what being insecure about something feels like. You look so perfect all the time.
And then I wiped off my makeup to show him my real face.
Oh, Elsa, I had no idea. You're beautiful. Thank you for showing me.
He pulled me into a tight hug, and for the first time since my accident, I felt seen and accepted. Accepted as me. The next day at school, I came with my makeup as usual. But Kristoff showed up in shorts, exposing his legs for the world to see. What was he doing?
Elsa, I wanted to thank you. When you showed me your scars yesterday, I just became less afraid to show mine. I don't want to hide them anymore.
I don't know what to say, especially because I haven't been so open about my own scars.
Maybe you can take your makeup off now. We can take this step together.
I wish I could, but I can't let anyone see me without makeup. I told him how my witch aunt had instructed me to never take off my makeup in public, or she'd stop helping my family.
We can keep it a secret as long as you reapply it before you go home. She won't know, right?
At first, most of the kids at school didn't even recognize me without makeup. When they realized who it was, they were stunned. But I was surprised by how many people told me I was brave. Tracy looked shocked when I walked up to her. Here's my secret. Will you believe me now? That I would never have let yours out on purpose?
Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't.
I thought things were finally back to normal. But the next day, I was about to go home when someone told me to check Tracy's Facebook page. She'd posted a picture of me without makeup in a caption that said, "I guess Ms. Perfect isn't perfect after all." Wow, so she hadn't forgiven me after all. I was gonna kick her butt the next day. But when I got home, Aunt was waiting for me, looking like a tiny dragon.
You want to explain this picture to me?
Not really. You were wrong about everyone, Aunt. No one judges me for my scars. In fact, they think I'm awesome for not hiding them. And Kristoff thinks I'm beautiful just the way I am.
They're lying. They're laughing behind your back. And you messed up big time by not listening to me. I'm gonna withdraw you from that school and stop sending money to your parents.
Excuse me, what's this about you sending us money?
Aunt and I turned around in shock to see Mom behind us.
Elsa, has she been treating you badly? Why didn't you tell me?
When I told her everything, Mom was furious.
You petty, petty woman. As if you'd ever offer a single penny to anyone. I've been sending you money for Elsa's school. I know you've always envied me, but I didn't think you'd stoop so low and take it out on my daughter.
And why would I envy you? I'm successful and have all the money in the world.
Yeah, but you're gonna rot alone in this mansion. Good luck.
Mom took my hand and we left. I was so glad to be out of that house.
Honey, our business is doing much better now. And we even found a house. I came to get you so that you could see it before we bought it.
I'm so happy things are better, Mom. But do you think we could move to Seattle? I finally feel like I fit in here. Mom looked really surprised.
Yeah, I think we can do that. But are you sure?
I thought about Kristoff and smiled. Yeah, I'm sure.
Hi, I'm Audrey. I was born in a crazy family in New York. Please like and subscribe. My Mexican mom was so proud of her language that she never wanted to learn better English. Dad would say mean things with a smile to fool her all the time, and I hated it.
Wow, this stew tastes like mud. What did you do to it, you insane woman?
What you telling me? Do you like?
Estoy contenta.
As a kid, I never had the courage to tell Mom what a jerk he was, cause I knew she'd be sad. But every time he did that and smirked at me, I knew that Mom would soon catch on to his words, and it would end bad. And over time, Mom learned more English from her neighbor friend, and she realized that all these years Dad had just been giving her hatred. Their fights got bigger, and one day, when I was in the 7th grade, Mom finally decided she wanted a divorce. When I had to choose a parent, of course, I chose Mom. We took off to Mexico that same night. Mom, are we going to Grandma's?
Oh, Misha, amor.
Grandma moved away a long time ago, but we have a new loving family here.
A new family? The cab stopped at a huge mansion, and a strange man ran towards us and hugged Mom. He also said something to me, but I didn't get a word. Mom then took me to a room, and it was all ready for me. Mom, what's going on? Who's this man? As Mom started telling her secrets one by one, I kept sinking deeper into the bed.
That's Carlos, and he used to be my boyfriend long ago. If your grandma hadn't forced me to marry your dad, we would have been a big, happy family already. And you know what? He has a son your age, Matthew.
What was I just hearing? Mom, I left my school, my friends, my whole life in New York for you, and you created your own family here and didn't even tell me about it? How could you keep all this from me? She kept explaining, but I just asked her to leave the room and slammed my door hard. It was so much to take in, and I just wanted to cry. Suddenly, I heard a loud, non-stop knocking on my door. Who is that? Okay, wait, stop that, I'm coming. And I opened the door to find a boy standing outside grinning at me. Who are you, man? Lost your way?
Shouldn't I be asking you that? But your mama. Well, now our mama said,
Matthew, go meet your sister.
so here I am, Hermana.
What? Whatever, don't call me that.
Mama didn't teach you Spanish? Also, I heard New Yorkers are very stylish. But look at you. You're worse than my ex-girlfriend. Hey, that's a joke, okay? Don't cry.
Can you do me a favor and please get the heck out of here? I made him leave, but he left loads of mud on the carpet. That night at dinner, Mom introduced me to everyone, and Carlos even made a toast to me. But after that, they all started talking in Spanish. Was I invisible? I stood up to leave. Then Mom held my hand.
Where are your manners? We're having family time.
Family? You all are clearly a family, Mama. Excluding me. I don't even understand your language.
Oh, Misha, amor.
Just use the language of love. It's easy, try it.
Mom, can't you see I feel so left out? But you're just joking about it. I shook her hand off and walked up to my room. The next day, I was joining school and thought at least that would give me some relief. Until Matthew came and sat right next to me. Holy moly!
Hey, better not tell anyone we're related. And can you please wax your mustache? People will think you're me.
It's not my problem you've got a girly face. He hit my face with a book, and suddenly the teacher yelled,
What's going on there?
Ma'am, can you believe it? She's asking me to be her boyfriend. But I told her, I already have eyes for you.
I was sure the teacher was going to kick him out now, but to my surprise, she giggled.
Oh, stop it, you.
What? Who was this boy? Soon I realized Matthew was the coolest kid in school. All the girls and even the teachers adored him for his crazy jokes. Not me! I hated him even more because he spoke in Spanish with Mom every time I was around. I felt like an alien in the house. That Christmas, Carlos was gonna host a grand party, but I wasn't interested. I think I have an important exam that day, and in the evening, I have dance practice.
Liar! We don't have any exams on Christmas. And dance practice. You can barely walk.
Ugh, I was gonna kill him. Seeing Mom and Carlos's faces, I could tell they wanted me to attend. So I reluctantly said yes. And the party wasn't that bad. I got to meet a handsome boy, Leo.
Hey, I know you must already have a boyfriend because you're so pretty. But I have to say, you have the most dreamy eyes. I've been watching you for hours.
OMG, that made me blush. Thanks. Actually, I don't have a boyfriend. Yet we exchanged numbers and started hanging out. He seemed really cool. But one day, when Leo and I were having lunch in the school cafeteria, Matthew appeared out of the blue and pulled me aside.
Have you gone mad? Why are you sitting with that jerk?
He's not a jerk. He's my friend. Maybe future boyfriend. And why do you care anyway?
Listen, he's not a good guy. He flirts with everyone, and God knows how many girlfriends he has.
Look, who's talking? The one who flirts with teachers. Just leave me alone, okay? I can handle my own life. I knew he just wanted to spoil my first real relationship, so I ignored him and left with Leo. After that, we started going out more often. One evening, Leo invited me to his house for a party, and I was having a great time. As we were dancing, Leo suddenly pulled me closer, and my heart skipped a beat.
Oh, Hermosa, thank God you flew all the way from New York just for me.
He held my face, and we kissed. Suddenly, someone kicked Leo hard, and he went flying into a wall. Matthew, what are you doing here?
Just protecting you from this virus.
He took my hand and started walking out, but I pushed him away. You crazy idiot! You're the virus that's destroying my life. Why can't you just let me breathe?
Breathe all you want, but see this first.
He took out his phone and showed me Leo's Instagram page. It had a video of me and him kissing under the caption, 100th kiss from a New York chick. The page had videos of him kissing 99 other girls too. It looked like one of Leo's friends here had been making our video and was broadcasting it live for him. I jumped on Leo and scratched his face.
Ah, the New York chick has gone crazy like her mad brother. Someone save me!
Shut your dirty mouth! I trusted you, you mud mind. And I started pulling his hair like crazy. Matthew gave him a nice punch and then took me home. I felt really embarrassed for not listening to Matthew before. He'd only been looking out for me. So the next day at school, I sat next to him.
Not so worried about this life-destroying virus now, yeah?
I realized it's better to have him as a friend than an enemy. I thanked him for the night before, and he just laughed and hit my face with a book again. As days passed, we became good friends. I also decided to talk to Carlos and Mom and apologize for being so neglectful. But they surprised me instead.
Princesa,
We have some exciting news for you.
Sí, mija.
Your 15th birthday is coming. And here in Mexico, we call it
Quinceañera?
But why do you want to do this for me? You know, after I've been, well, not so nice.
Cause we're family, estúpida.
And you're no less than Matthew to me. I want to do this for my daughter.
I felt so stupid for not seeing this before. These people really cared about me, just like the family I'd always wanted. On the day of the party, I could already hear music and people laughing and talking. As I got ready, I walked out all dressed in their traditional way, and everyone clapped for me. Just then, Matthew barged into the room looking mad.
Stop the party, Papa. This girl doesn't deserve any of this love and attention.
What?
Matthew, calm down. Audrey is your...
Nothing. She's my nothing, Papa.
What's gotten into you, man? I was horrified when I saw what he had in his hand. It was my diary. Oh my God, no!
After all this effort we've been making for you, this is what you really think of us? You suck.
Matthew, enough. What are you talking about?
Oh, let me read it out loud, Papa. This place is hell on earth. I hate their food, their language, this house. Carlos is so loud and annoying. Why is he so desperate to be my dad? Probably because his own son is a loser with half a brain. They're both stupid and I deserve better.
There was a pin-drop silence as everyone stared at me. You should have never taken my diary, you jerk. And yes, I wrote this, but that's when I first came here. I was having a really hard time adjusting. I was just mad, and I didn't really mean it. This is not how I feel now, Carlos. Mom, I promise, I really like being part of this family.
You're not part of this family, Audrey, and you never will be.
And before I could stop myself, I said the stupidest thing ever. Oh, shut up, Matthew. You're not part of this family either, 'cause you're adopted. It was something Mom had told me once, and Matthew didn't know about it. Now he did, because I just blurted it out. Carlos turned white, and Mom looked raging mad.
What a lame thing to say, Audrey. As if. Tell her, Papa. Papa, why do you look like that?
Oh, Matthew, I meant to tell you. On your 16th birthday. I promised I was going to, son.
Matthew looked stunned. Carlos walked over to him, but suddenly he just pushed him aside and ran out. Carlos went after him while Mom turned to me.
I raised you better than this, Audrey. But it seems you're more like your dad, hurting good people for no reason. Hurting your family. I'm so disappointed in you. Party's over, everyone.
As the guests started leaving, I ran to my room in tears. I felt terrible. Even if Matthew had read my diary, I'd done something 10 times worse. And the next day, I was back to being the alien of the house. Nobody was talking to me, and I deserved it. Matthew wouldn't even look at me in school. Anytime I went near him, he walked the other way. I tried for days to make it up to him. One evening, I sneaked into his room, finished his history paper, and left it on his desk. When he came home, he took one look at it, tore it up, and threw it in the trash. Then I had an idea for a gift that I was sure would make him forgive me. I used all my savings to get him a signed basketball from his favorite player. But when I looked into his room later, I was horrified to find him slashing it with a paper cutter. Oh my God, what are you doing? This was signed by...
I don't care. I just want you to stop doing things for me and stay out of my face.
How do I make you believe that I'm really sorry, Matthew? I'll say it in Spanish. Lo siento mucho.
There's nothing you can ever say or do that will make things okay. Now please, get lost.
It just looked like things were ruined between us for good. But one evening, I was walking a few blocks away from our house when I saw two boys wearing masks drag Matthew into an alley and start beating him up. I charged at them while screaming, and with the baseball bat I had, I hit one of the boys straight in the knee while the other one ran away. Leo, don't you dare touch my brother again, estúpida. I left him there crying on the ground and helped Matthew up. He leaned on me as we walked back home. And as soon as we entered, Mom and Carlos cried out.
Oh my God. What happened?
Papa, I'm fine, really. Thanks to Audrey. But why were you going around with a baseball bat anyway?
I've been following you everywhere for days, Matthew. Leo came up to me a week ago and said he would do something to make you pay for exposing him at his party. I knew you wouldn't really listen to me, so I had to do something. I couldn't let you get hurt. I've done a pretty good job of that myself. Suddenly, Carlos stepped forward and hugged me.
Mija amor, you saved my son today, and I want to forget everything else. I know you didn't mean those things.
And I'm okay about knowing about the adoption, Audrey. It came as a shock, but Dad and I have talked a lot about it since, and I'm fine. It doesn't really change anything. You don't always have to be related to be family.
I understand that now, and I'm so happy Mom brought me to you guys. I'm sorry about everything. And Carlos, you're the dad every girl wants to have. I love you! Carlos had tears and hugged me. Mom did too.
Don't forget me.
Hi, my name is Lily. Before I tell you my story, please like and subscribe. Before I was born, there were two things my parents loved more than anything in the world: their restaurant and their yacht, both named Ella. And that didn't change after I was born either. But soon after, their restaurant wasn't doing so well. When Dad knew Mom was pregnant with me, he said,
"It's so expensive to raise a baby. We'll have to sell something. This child is already bad luck."
Ultimately, they sold their precious boat, and they never stopped crying about it.
Oh, if only we didn't have Lily and had Ella with us right now. We'd be having breakfast at sea.
And I'd be sunbathing on the deck having a child. Just ruins everything.
They never celebrated my birthday, but when I was turning 5, they decided to have a party and called all their friends. When I ran to the table excitedly to look for the cake, I felt confused. Why does this say Happy Birthday, Mom? Because I gave birth to you on this day? What did you have to do? Nothing. It was a really boring party because there were no presents for me, and nobody was paying me any attention. Instead, they all wanted to talk about their fancy new yachts. My parents were so embarrassed because they didn't have anything to talk about. Later that evening, Dad said to me,
"I wish we'd put you up for sale instead of my boat."
That same year, my little sister was born, and on the same day, Dad unexpectedly found an oyster washed up on the beach with a rare gray pearl inside. He sold it for $50,000, and the money really helped them make things better at the restaurant.
Yeah, what a blessing this baby girl has been for us. She's brought us such good fortune.
And because of that, my parents decided to name her Ella. Like everything else, they truly loved.
We love you so much, Ella. We tried with Lily, but it's easier to love you because you're just so perfect.
They made me do all the chores around the house while they drooled over the new baby. I even had to change her stinky diapers because both my parents refused to. After a few weeks, they got really busy at the restaurant, and I was left in charge of Ella most of the time. I'd feed her, bathe her, rock her to sleep. I started teaching her my name.
Lily.
I'd point to myself. Ella would just look at me, and then she'd laugh and clap her little baby hands. But things changed forever when Ella turned 1. My parents came home from work one night, and Mom started yelling at me for not having dinner ready. "You own a restaurant? Can't you just eat there?"
We sell that. Food, you moron. What should I expect from someone as stupid as you? I guess we'll just go eat out somewhere. Come on, Ella.
But Ella didn't want to move. She slapped my mom's hand away and started to cry with her little toddler finger. She pointed at me.
Lily.
My parents looked shocked. Ella had just said her first word, and it was my name.
Lily. Lily. Lily.
What have you been teaching her?
Mom was so mad that Ella's first words weren't, "I love you, Mom and Dad, and I hate Lily." Dad picked her up, but Ella kept kicking and screaming for me.
"Fine, we'll bring your stupid sister."
I walked out with them, and Ella stopped crying. She smiled at me, and I smiled back. After that, Ella always had my back, and I always had hers. When I was in the 3rd grade, my parents took Ella to a boat show. They left me behind to clean the house. Of course, when they got home, Ella ran to me and gave me a present. I was so touched.
I love you, Lily.
It was a little red toy boat. I hugged her tight. When Ella turned 4, she had a phase where she wouldn't eat anything except hot dogs and ketchup. Her favorite part was when I squirted ketchup all over the hot dogs. "Ready, Ella? Ketchup party." The funny fart noise the bottle made always made her laugh like crazy. When summer break was over and I went back to school, my parents had to hire a babysitter for Ella. One day when I got back, I could hear screams from one of the rooms. Just then, Ella came running out, holding a ketchup bottle and squirting it everywhere.
Yeah, ketchup party.
Behind her, the babysitter came out drenched in ketchup from head to toe.
That's it, I quit.
Just as she was storming off, my parents walked in looking horrified at the mess.
What on earth is Ella doing? Did you teach her this?
No, I did not teach her to spray ketchup all over the house. Mom caught Ella and snatched the bottle from her, glaring at me.
I don't know how, but this is all your fault. Clean this up right now and stop poisoning our little Ella's mind.
Just as she was dragging Ella to the bathroom, she slipped on some ketchup and fell on the floor. Angry as I was that I had to clean up everything, that made me feel a little bit better. When I was old enough, my parents made me work at their restaurant. I thought it would actually be fun waiting on tables and meeting new people. But what was I thinking? They just handed me an apron and rubber gloves.
You'll be washing the dishes.
When I asked them to pay me, Dad glared at me.
We already pay you by giving you a bed at night and a roof over your head. Don't be so greedy.
To make matters worse, they'd make me pay for any food I ate there. But I became friends with the head chef, and I'd eat the food he gave me secretly in the back alley. One time, he came out to hand me a bowl of mac and cheese, and just then, we heard someone coming and he dove behind the garbage can. It was Dad.
Where did you get that, Lily?
I took it out from the garbage. Do you want some? He looked absolutely disgusted and was about to walk off when he spotted the chef.
I knew it was you, thief. You're fired.
Of course, a few years later, when Ella started working at the restaurant, Mom and Dad got her the cutest uniform and let her greet the guests as they walked in. The restaurant is named after her. She should be the face of it. No, you named her after the restaurant and your stupid boat.
Oh, my boat. Every time I look at you, I miss that boat. Now get back to work.
Of course, Ella could order anything off the menu, but she still always had my back and she'd sneak me half her meal. One night when I was eating lasagna at the back of the kitchen, Dad suddenly walked in and he accused me of stealing. As he snatched my plate away, Ella came running in.
She works hard and she deserves it.
No, she doesn't, Ella. You work hard for your meals, not your ungrateful sister.
That was the final straw. I was done being insulted by them. The next night was one of the busiest ever, and the kitchen was chaotic. I had Dad screaming at me every 5 minutes.
Lily, hurry up. We need clean dishes.
I stopped cleaning them and just gave the dirty ones. Once back to the chefs, they were so busy they didn't notice, and the fresh food went out on filthy dishes. One even had a used napkin on it. The customers were so grossed out, a lot of them left without paying. A food critic was at the restaurant that night, and he threw down his napkin as he screamed,
"This is an insult. This would never happen in France."
And he stormed off with my parents following him and saying sorry again and again. Of course, he wrote a horrible review. Ella and I found it really, really funny though. We would burst into laughter every time we read it. Ella is the most disgusting restaurant on earth. Eat your meal from Ella or straight out of the trash can. Same difference. The reviews were so bad that customers stopped coming altogether. Eventually, my parents were forced to sell the restaurant.
I hope you're happy now. We can't send your sister to college.
What are we going to do for money now, Lily? Did you think about that?
Think of all the people who lost their jobs. You should feel awful.
But no one lost their jobs, Dad. Everyone got rehired by the new owner. In fact, I'm also still working there, and I got a raise. I skipped off before Dad exploded. I knew I wanted to go to college, and living by the sea had always made me want to study marine biology. I got a loan, worked part-time, and put myself through college. I graduated at the top of my class and got a research job. I would spend days at a time out on the water, and I loved it. With the money I'd saved up from work, I eventually bought a cute sailboat. I could see my parents turning green with envy. I offered to take them around for a spin, but they refused to go with me. When Ella hopped onto the boat excitedly, she asked,
"Have you named it yet?"
"No, but what do you think about the Lily Ella?" Her face lit up.
"I really like that."
And just like that, the Lily Ella set sail for the first time. A few days later, Ella came to me with a poster.
"Yeah, we should enter this contest."
It was a sailboat race coming up in a few weeks, and there was a grand prize of $100,000. You think we can win?
I know we can.
As we were practicing one day, I was shocked to see my parents had a sailboat too. Dad yelled out to us,
Guess what? We entered the contest too. I borrowed the boat from a friend.
"But why?"
Oh, he thought it would be fun to beat you. We spent years on the water before you were born, Lily. You'll never win against us.
It was the morning of the race, and Ella and I were getting everything ready when we noticed that something very important was missing. Our sails. How are we going to race without them? The race started, and everyone got off to a huge head start. I could see my parents pointing and laughing at us from the water.
Good luck without your sails, Liliella.
Of course they'd sabotaged us. Just then, Ella came panting behind me, dragging some disgusting sails.
I found them in the garbage. They smell so gross.
We set them up, caught a big gust of wind, and took off. We were pretty far behind the other racers, but Annabella was a speedy little thing, and we'd been practicing a lot. We quickly caught up to the rest of the pack, but our parents had a big lead. The finish line was fast approaching. We'll never catch them.
We're too heavy.
I turned to see Ella strapping on a life jacket. What are you doing?
Win this race, Lily, for me.
And with that, she jumped over the side. I knew she could swim like a mermaid, so I wasn't too worried about her. I immediately picked up speed after she jumped off. I turned around to glance at her once, and she yelled at me.
Ketchup party?
What was she talking about? I was right behind my parents' boat, and the finish line was only 200 yards away. That's when I saw a big squirt bottle of ketchup on the floor of the boat.
You'll never catch us, Lily. You'll always be a loser.
It's time for a ketchup party. And with that, I got close enough and aimed it straight at Dad's face. He couldn't see anything, and his boat ended up getting stuck between two rocks. I could hear Mom and Dad yelling, but I went even faster and crossed the finish line. Ella ran up to me and gave me a huge hug.
We won.
We won?
We are rich.
A few weeks later, the Liliella and its victory was trending on the internet. We were invited to race all over the world. Eventually, we bought a bigger boat with our winnings, and even though my parents had always been so mean to me, I bought them a boat too, to make up for the one they'd sold all those years ago. And I keep the red toy boat Ella got me as a present, right by the wheel at all times. Hi, my name is Scarlett, and I'm from New Jersey. I was born to loving parents just 3 years after my older sister Aurora. The whole family celebrated my birth, and Aurora and I were inseparable. She always had me glued to her, and we did everything together. But as I got older, our parents realized something was wrong with me. I couldn't hear them. I only reacted if they spoke really loudly or really close to me. They rushed me to the doctor, and we found out that I had a problem in my ears that made me nearly 70% deaf. A surgery would fix this issue, but I had to be much older to go through it safely. So I grew up deaf in a world full of sound. While Aurora enjoyed music, laughter, and went to school like everyone else, my parents decided to homeschool me with an army of special tutors.
There's schools for kids just like her?
Yes, but she's our special girl, and we want to give her all our attention.
Aurora had a life I dreamed of every day. She got to have heaps of friends while I was too scared to talk to the kids in my neighborhood. I once got jealous watching Aurora dance to music. My parents went out of their way to make me feel better. They bragged about me all the time.
Scarlett is beautiful, and she's a genius. She did her speech therapy in record time.
Mom, I taught my entire grade. Look at my report card.
That's nice, dear. Scarlett can lip read too, you know. Show them. It's such a fun game.
I got ready to show off my skills, but Aurora suddenly got up, threw her report card on the table, and ran into her room. What was the matter with her? I was too wrapped up in my life to understand it. But Aurora started having little meltdowns all the time. She hated that my parents always let me choose our vacation spots, choose where to eat, and bought me anything I pointed at. When Aurora asked for the same things, my parents just told her to share mine.
That's not fair. Why can't I have what she has?
We can share. I have like 100 clothes.
I'm talking to Mom.
I didn't want Aurora to hate me, so I sent her some pretty dresses as a gift. She sent them back to me, all cut up in pieces. Are you kidding me? When I reached the 7th grade, I was finally ready to get my surgery, and all my parents could do was worry about it. Even I was a little scared, but Aurora couldn't care less. She was a school topper and a cheerleader now. She was also best friends with the richest girl in town, Kat. Her dad was so powerful, he employed half the adults here. Aurora spent all her time lounging in Kat's huge pool house. Even though Kat was the worst, she was super mean and controlling. She even gave her friends strict guidelines on how to dress. One time, Aurora wore the wrong shoes with an evening dress, and her friends ditched her. Kat is a moron. You shouldn't be friends with her.
Mind your own business, turd.
I still hoped that Aurora and I would be normal sisters after my surgery. But the day I went to the hospital, she didn't even show up. I went into the hospital with my heart burning with anger. If Aurora didn't care about me, then I didn't care about her anymore. When I woke up from surgery, I couldn't stop weeping. My parents' voices, the doctor's voices, and my own voice. Everything was setting me off. It took time and effort. But with my parents' support and therapy, I slowly got used to living in a sea of sound. On my first day of joining regular school, my heart was hammering. I'd literally taken my first few steps into the hallway when I saw the most beautiful girl in the entire world just casually standing by the lockers. She was looking right at me, and her mouth was moving. I read her lips without even trying. Did you just say I'm pretty?
What? How did you hear that?
I have good ears. I'm Scarlett.
I'm Marina.
I shook her hand, and my heart wanted to dance. She was actually going to be in my classes. School was exciting. It was a little weird making friends when I could still lip read. I was only 40% accurate, but that was enough to accidentally see some awkward things. I just pretended I knew nothing. But one day I saw two of our teachers talking, and I couldn't help but stare. They were talking about giving us a surprise test tomorrow. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I just prepared alone, right? So I told everyone in my class what was going to happen. Marina looked really surprised.
But how did you know?
I can lip read, just a little bit. I used to be deaf.
Wow, really?
A literal crowd jumped on me all of a sudden. People had a million questions about my life. Everyone wanted to play the lip reading game. They would mouth dumb things at me, and I had to guess. Banana olive juice? No, I love you. Aw, you're just saying. La 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 la. The whole class was rolling in laughter. I had no idea I was so fun. By the end of the day, I got invited to 3 different sleepovers. I was really enjoying my new popularity. Until one day when I learned a secret I couldn't forget. Aurora was hanging out with Kat and a gang of cheerleaders, and I saw them mouthing the words spray paint and plan. That made me curious, so I sneaked closer to them to hear what they were saying. Kat was planning to vandalize the school building this weekend, and she was making her friends help her. When I reached home, I went into Aurora's room to talk to her alone. I know what Kat is planning to do this weekend.
You little sneak! How did you know? Did you lip read us?
It doesn't matter. You can't go spray painting buildings with her. She's gonna get you in trouble.
Mind your own business.
Why do you let that jerk push you around?
That jerk's dad is literally our dad's boss. She's really powerful.
So let her get in trouble alone. She refused to listen to me. I didn't know what to do. But I couldn't let her get mixed up with that awful girl anymore. So I told my parents what she was about to do. Her bully of a friend is gonna make her vandalize the school. My parents were furious at Aurora. They yelled at her and then grounded her for the next 2 weeks.
You told on me. Isn't it enough that you're our parents' favorite? You just had to do this.
Aurora, if you get caught, you could get suspended or even expelled.
As if you care about what happens to me. Stay out of my life.
Aurora shut me out hard. After that, she ignored me at home and in school. That Monday, the principal announced that Kat and her group had been caught ruining school property, and they all got suspended. I thought that would soften Aurora's temper, but she still didn't want to talk to me. I couldn't stay upset about it for too long, because one day I opened my lockers to see flowers and a note inside. It was from Marina.
Too shy to say it in person, but ever since we met, I can't stop thinking about you. Want to go out with me?
I was so happy I was gonna faint. A real-life fairy just asked me out. I texted her yes and literally floated on air for days. I was so nervous on my first ever date that my hands were shaking. I even spilled a soda all over us. But that was the moment she chose to surprise me and kissed me. She was just perfect. Marina was funny, clever, and even my parents loved her. Our relationship was pure and blissful until we reached the 9th grade, and she finally introduced me to her mom. That was instant hate. Her mom didn't want her dating a girl, and it showed. She asked Marina to dump me, and when she didn't, she started ignoring her. She bought her siblings presents and took them to dinners. But she purposefully left Marina out. I hated to see Marina upset, and I foolishly thought if her mom got to know me, she'd like me. So for Marina's birthday, I set up a family picnic in the park as a surprise. But Marina's mom spent the whole time bragging about her siblings.
My son has a new job, and my eldest daughter is going to college with a scholarship. I'm so proud of you both.
Mom, I won an art contest last month.
Art contest? Ha ha, sounds lame. Your sister won a science scholarship.
Bitter tears filled Marina's eyes, and she stormed off in a huff. She worked hard on that contest, and you called it lame just to hurt her. You're insane. I went after Marina and saw her weeping, and suddenly it reminded me of Aurora getting ignored by our parents. Unlike Marina's mom, my parents didn't give me more attention to hurt Aurora. But the end result looked exactly the same. My parents were wrong for how they treated Aurora. I was just too mad at her for not being there for me, and I couldn't see it until now. Aurora still avoided me at home and at school, but it finally made sense to me, and we didn't speak again until the evening of the spring dance. Marina and I wore the prettiest dresses and were so excited to go to our first dance together. But we'd only been there for an hour when Marina's mom showed up.
What are you doing here?
Just wanted to see all the handsome boys you rejected to date this rude girl. That one. Oh, that one.
Mom, stop it. You can't be here.
You can't date this girl. She called your own mother insane.
That's because you are insane.
People were staring at us, and someone even turned the music down.
My daughter never spoke to me this way before you came along. I hate you.
Her mom picked up the bowl of punch, and she was gonna throw it at me. I prepared myself for the splash, but suddenly Aurora flew in between us and pushed her away. Marina's mom went flying back right into a table of food. The entire hall watched her in pin-drop silence before exploding into whispers and laughter.
Call the principal. His students attacked me. They're crazy.
The teachers were furious at Aurora for pushing her and disrupting the dance. They gave her 6 weeks of detention and called our parents to pick us up. When we got home, they tried to yell at Aurora, but I stopped them. Marina's mom deserves everything she got. You should be proud of Aurora for standing up for me.
She stood up for you this one time. Before this, she was planning to vandalize buildings. And before that, she was constantly fighting with you.
That's you. Your fault, not hers. Yeah, you heard me. You were so eager to make me feel good, you ignored Aurora since we were kids. That's why she hated me.
We may have given you more attention, but we loved you both equally.
No way. You acted like I didn't even matter. Nothing I ever did was good enough for your praise, while you wrote actual songs about Scarlet.
Aurora, you were healthy. Topping your classes, cheerleading, making friends. You didn't need us as much as she did.
That's not true. I was upset. Making friends with bullies and getting into trouble. I would be suspended or expelled if it weren't for Scarlet. I'm a mess. If you loved me as much as you loved Scarlet, you would have seen that.
Aurora burst into tears while my parents looked stunned.
We did take your achievements for granted. And yes, we were more worried about your sister. But we love you both the same.
Then why don't you act like it?
We didn't want Scarlet to be jealous of your life. We worried about her getting hurt in a million ways, but that's not an excuse. If we let you think for even a second that we didn't love you, then we really messed up. I'm so sorry, Aurora.
We love you both more than our own lives. We're sorry we haven't shown it. We'll do better from now on.
Aurora grabbed my parents in a hug, and I wiped my tears off and joined them too.
Hey guys, I'm Amelia from Denver, and this is my crazy story. Please like and subscribe first. I was 6 years old when I moved to my aunt's house with my sister Olivia, who was 4 years older than me. Olivia and I, well, we had sort of a bittersweet relationship, more bitter than sweet. We just didn't get along. Olivia drew an imaginary line between us because she needed her space, but had no respect for mine. Like once when I was dreaming of Maroon 5, she woke me up to yell at me.
You're blaming blankets on my side of the bed? Move over!
Are you kidding me? And then there were times when she treated me like her servant.
Amelia, go get my charger. Bring me a glass of water.
Are you blind? Don't you have legs? Move your butt and get it yourself. Every time I'd answer her back, she'd look at me like I slapped her in the face, and then give me notes on how she was the best sister in the world.
I bought you a new bag from the dollar shop on 2012. I saved you from the bullies when you were in the 4th grade. When you were hungry as a bear on March 13th, 2014, I cooked noodles for you.
What in the world? Oh God, wait. You forgot you said good morning yesterday. So what now? Would I have to do laundry for you for a year? Man, you're weird. She was crazy, but she was also kind to me on rare occasions, like when she gave me her Netflix password. Even though I begged and pleaded for it for 4 years, she also gave me her phone when I asked her. Oh, she wasn't that generous. She did it because her boyfriend Cooper got her a new one. Even though we fought a lot, she was still always around. But after high school, Olivia started spending less and less time with me. She was busy partying with her friends. She would come home late almost every night. One time, it was very late, and Olivia hadn't returned home. My aunt and I were worried sick. Olivia, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone?
Don't try to be my mother. Just mind your own business.
Ugh, I waited for you all night. Look, the sun is almost up. This isn't right.
So I should stop living my life just because you think partying all night isn't right? Gosh, you suffocate me. I am leaving.
She then began packing her stuff. She said she was going to stay with Cooper and that she needed to live her life the way she wanted to. Well, fine. If that's what she wanted to do with her life, so be it. Once Olivia was gone, I did miss her, but I channeled all my energy into studying. It paid off, because I graduated from high school with awesome grades. Now, I needed a job to pay for my college fees. I found a job in sales, and after months, I was finally able to move out of my aunt's place. One day when I returned home from work, I found a basket at my door with a baby, and right then, my phone rang.
Oh, you got it, Mandy, thank God.
Olivia, where are you? Wait, is this your baby?
Yeah. Amelia, look, I have to go to Europe with my new boyfriend. I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to babysit her for just like 1 week. All the stuff you need is in the baby bag. And there's a diary too.
Wait, are you crazy? You haven't shown up in 2 years. How do you think I'm gonna... She hung up before I could finish. I reached into the bag, and just as I found the baby's dad's number, Mandy puked all over the diary. No! I thought of taking her to my aunt, but then I remembered she was away visiting her friends. Oh God, I can't do this. I was having a full-blown panic attack, and that's when I decided to go to the cops. Sir, my friend's sister left her baby at my friend's place and then ran away. What should my friend do with the baby?
It's not legal to keep a baby like this. She'll have to be sent to social services and they'll decide.
Social services? No! I couldn't send my niece there. And then I banged my head hard on the wall. As I stared at Mandy in horror, she began to cry and just got louder each second. Nothing was working. This was frustrating. My patience was running out. After multiple failed attempts, I finally found a solution. I did a silly dance for her that caught her attention. Finally, silence. But what happened next made me explode. Now who's gonna clean this up? Of course, me! I cried really loudly and cursed Olivia for doing this to me. Your mother is I don't know why I'm being punished. Well, the next thing that made me worried was work. I had no other option but to take her along with me. I made a stop at the grocery store near my work to buy baby food. As I reached the cashier, I struggled to juggle the bag and baby in my hands. Please, do you mind holding her for a while?
Me? Okay.
To make matters worse, I had to cut half of my purchases due to my credit limit, but as if luck was on my side.
Congratulations, ma'am. It's your lucky day. You're our 1,000th customer and you get a voucher worth $2,000.
What? What did you just say? Yes! Finally, something good happened to me. I took the bags and ran out of the shop, but then the stranger stopped me.
Hey, excuse me. Stop, please. Your baby.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I forgot about her. I'm a bad aunt, ain't I?
Ooh, thank God you said aunt. I was wondering if I can.
Before he could finish, Mandy started crying, and I had to rush. Bummer. When I reached the office, I was surprised to see the stranger from the store there. It turned out he was our boss's son.
You work here? Oh, wow. I'm surprised that we have such pretty employees and the youngest ones.
I'm sorry to have brought her here, but I'm still looking for some place to drop her off. Adrian was amazing. The guy was always nice to me, and as we started working together, he always praised my work in front of everyone, which made me feel over the moon. I was falling hard for him, but I kept my feelings about him under wraps. He, on the other hand, was pretty clear about how he felt for me.
I must say, you look lovely today, Amelia. You are loaded with work. Let's take a coffee break. Amelia!
One day, we were preparing for a meeting when Adrian took my hand and told me how much he liked me. I can't say no to my boss. I like you too. Everything was turning out great for me. Olivia had told me she'd be back in a week, but it had been more than 3 weeks, and she was still a no-show. But luckily, Mandy and I were getting along just fine. It wasn't like she stopped spitting her food in my face, didn't cry, or stopped rolling on the floor. I just learned how to handle her better now. I even got her into a daycare when I was at work. Like all good things that don't last forever, this happy period of my life was also temporary. Mandy got sick, and I didn't know what to do. I called Adrian and asked if he could drop us off at the clinic. He drove up in his Mercedes-Benz and took us there. Thank God it wasn't anything serious. On our way back, I invited Adrian over for coffee at my place, but what he said next surprised me.
You live here? It's so tiny and untidy too.
As he walked around, he stepped on a toy and screamed, "Ouch!" He looked pissed and threw the toy against the wall. I was shocked at how he acted. I'm sorry the house is messy.
It's not your fault. I was thinking you could always give her up for adoption. She was your sister's mistake, not yours. Or have her come back and take care of her own kid.
He wasn't wrong, but I wasn't sure about his idea. Mandy was my niece after all, and I loved her. The next few days, Adrian kept bringing up the idea of sending Mandy to social services. Even though I tried to contact Olivia many times, her number was off. Just a week later, I was having an amazing sleep when someone jolted me awake. It was Adrian. What happened? Is Mandy all right?
Yeah, she must be. But, Amelia, you fell asleep during our presentation. What is going on with you? You need to pull yourself together and give the baby to someone. Her dad?
He was right. When my aunt came back from the trip, I went to her house and asked her if she knew about Cooper. She gave me his number, and when I contacted him, he was shocked to learn that he even had a baby.
Oh my god, she looks just like me, my carbon copy. I can't believe Olivia hid this from me.
He then told us how Olivia had left him for another guy, never telling him that she was pregnant. I felt really bad for him. I couldn't believe my sister would stoop so low. When Cooper took Mandy away, I realized how much I missed her. Those tiny hands and feet, that toothless smile. Gosh, I wanted to hug her just once more. I busied myself with work, and it went well with Adrian. He gave me expensive gifts and would take me out for dinner every day. One time while I was out with him, I mentioned how much I missed Mandy, and he just snapped.
Mandy. It's always Mandy for you all the time. I'm sorry. Look what I got you.
I need to go, please. As soon as I was out of the restaurant, I went to Cooper's place, and what I saw there had me laughing. Cooper had a pacifier around his neck, Mandy in his arm, milk powder in his hair, and a rattle in his other. I'm sorry, but I can't stop laughing.
It's okay. At least I made you laugh.
Let me try.
Oh, you made her sleep even faster.
As he cleaned up the mess, I helped him, and we felt exhausted and hungry by the end. We ordered online, and honest to God, the food was 100 times better than the fancy restaurant Adrian loved taking me to. Right then, my phone rang. Think of the devil! It was Adrian apologizing for snapping at me. He wanted to meet me again, but hearing Cooper's voice in the background, his mood changed.
You don't have time for me, and there you are with some other guy. Who is he?
I just couldn't handle his drama, so I hung up. Since I really liked spending time at Cooper's house, I went to visit Mandy and him almost every day. However, that it didn't sit too well with Adrian, 'cause I had to face him at work too. One time, he invited me on a date to a fancy gala, and I reluctantly accepted. I wanted to finish things with him, and that could be my chance. But once I reached the place, his face twisted the moment he saw me.
Oh God, why didn't you wear the dress I gave you? Come on, let's go. You need something proper for this gala. I can't be seen with someone who dresses like this.
What the heck? Fine. You won't be seen with me from now on. Want to know why? 'Cause you are one snobby, arrogant, and annoying jerk.
Oh yeah? Great. You're making me the bad guy here who's cheating on me with Cooper. Admit that you like him.
His words hit me. I think I really had feelings for Cooper, and I was kinda cheating. Ha! You are crazy! We're done, Adrian. Goodbye. Saying that, I I left, and on my way home, Cooper called, and I told him everything that Adrian had done. Since I didn't have a ride home, Cooper insisted on picking me up. He parked on the other side of the road, and when I turned toward him, my heel got stuck in the wet grass, and it broke. Seeing me struggle, Cooper rushed to me.
Oh, are you okay? Are you hurt? Oh God, you're soaking wet. Here, wear this.
Thanks. It's just this stupid, The next thing I know is that Cooper had me in his arms and carried me to his car. He delicately seated me. Oh my gosh. My heart was beating really fast, and I was sure he could hear it. I had never felt this calm and protected. Once we were at Cooper's place, I changed into dry clothes that belonged to him and snuggled next to Mandy. Can I crash here for the night, Cooper? I am too tired to go home now.
What? Yeah, I mean, you don't need to ask. It would be great if you could stay with us.
Really?
Yes, in fact, I'd love to have you forever.
Oh, wow! He really liked me. I did a happy dance inside my head, but I just nodded my head. A few days later, I resigned from my job and even changed my number, 'cause Adrienne was constantly calling me. In a few months, I moved in with Cooper and was living my best life. I loved Mandy so much, and being able to be with her brought me so much joy. Everything was going smoothly until one day Olivia returned, and seeing Cooper and me together, she looked shocked.
Olivia, what brought you here? Finally got time to worry about your daughter?
I was looking for Mandy, but I didn't find her at your place. And here you are.
Olivia,
Oh, cut it out, Amelia. How are you feeling after betraying your sister?
How could you say that to me? You left your kid, you cheated on your boyfriend, and ran off with your new fling and never told him about his child. I am not the one betraying anyone here. It's you.
Unbelievable.
With those words, Olivia left. And even though I wanted to say so much more to her, Cooper stopped me, saying it wasn't worth arguing with her. Time passed, and I didn't hear from Olivia again. Soon, Cooper and I got married, and we were living the perfect life. But deep down, I missed my sister. On Mandy's 5th birthday, I was at the store getting her a gift when I spotted an LOL doll. When I almost had it, someone else picked it up too. Hey, I needed that.
Oh, Amelia? It's you? Oh my God, it's been years. How are you? And is this for for Mandy?
Yeah, she loves it. Olivia then handed me the toy, and then Mandy called me from behind.
Mama!
Oh my God, she's grown up really fast. Can I hug her?
Of course, you don't need to ask. You are her mother after all. Olivia then hugged Mandy and kissed her with all her strength.
Mama, is this Mommy?
Yes, honey, she is.
Oh God, she knows me.
Of course. I have always shown her your pictures.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amelia. You're the best sister in the whole world.
The end.